Koike Yuriko, Governor of Tokyo. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak at the HPAIR Asia Conference 2021. It is truly an honor to be invited to participate in this energetic, student-led international conference. As you all know, the Olympic and Paralympic Games Tokyo 2020 are being held in our city. The Olympic Games featured a record 33 sports and 339 events held at 42 venues. Despite the difficult circumstances created by the pandemic, we delivered an amazing Olympic which will serve as a beacon of hope for the world. On the 24th of this month, the Paralympic Games will open. Tokyo is the first city to host the Summer Paralympic Games a second time. To date, we have implemented various initiatives for the success of the Paralympics. I hope you will closely watch the performances of the amazing para-athletes here in Tokyo. One of the core visions of the Tokyo 2020 Games is unity in diversity. Starting with these games, 2 new rules are being implemented to promote gender balance. The first states that all Olympic delegations must include at least 1 female and 1 male athlete. The second states that 1 female and 1 male athlete should jointly bear the flag at the opening ceremony. I'm sure that many people were inspired by the sight of the 2 athletes entering the stadium carrying their team's flag together. Medalists at these games will take home medals made from urban mined metals, precious metals collected from recycled mobile phones and other small electronic devices. The ceremonial podiums are also made from used plastic collected by citizens. Hydrogen produced using renewable energy will be used to power some facilities in the Olympic and Paralympic Village. And we will implement Tokyo Zero Carbon 4 Days in 2020 for net zero carbon emissions in the city over the 4 days of the Olympic and Paralympic opening and closing ceremonies, first at the Games. As the host city, we will also show the world a new model in the area of the environment through these efforts. On August 7th, we organized the Sustainable Recovery Tokyo Forum, or Restart. Taking the opportunity presented by the Tokyo 2020 Games, which became a starting point for the world to progress toward a sustainable recovery together, mayors and other figures representing 5 continents depicted by the 5 Olympic rings took part in the forum and adopted the Tokyo Declaration on Sustainable Recovery. The joint declaration says that we will strive to achieve a sustainable recovery from the pandemic, with the aim to realize sustainable lives for all people and expand these efforts throughout the world. These efforts are to cover various aspects concerning society as a whole, including the environment, the economy, culture, sports, human rights, and the awareness and behavior of people and companies. I believe that many aspects of this ideal absolutely resonate with this year's HPAIR theme, Reinventing with Resilience. My dear young fellows, COVID-19 is having a major impact on our lives and the way we work. Compared to the rest of the world, the number of cases and deaths in Japan have remained relatively low. As we dedicated healthcare workers around the world, our medical professionals have also worked tirelessly to protect the lives of the people of Tokyo and Japan. Last October, we established the Tokyo Center for Infectious Disease Control and Prevention, Tokyo ICDC, to serve as the command post for infectious disease response. While utilizing this specialized organization, we are working to build up systems for testing and provision of health care and rapidly advance our vaccine drive. In addition, we are advancing a strategy we call the Tokyo New Deal, Tokyo Value Add Action. Through this bold initiative, we plan to create over 20,000 jobs in areas such as ICT and other growth industries, and fields including nursing and welfare that suffer from a lack of manpower. The use of remote work, which we have been promoting since before the pandemic started, has greatly increased. In March 2020, only about 20% of companies utilized remote work. In June 2021, that percentage had increased to about 60%. When you do business in Tokyo in the future, I'm sure that more flexible work styles, such as remote work, will have taken hold. Regarding the field of digital and other advanced technologies, the Tokyo Metropolitan Government is now working to realize a smart Tokyo where everything is connected by IoT. One of such efforts is our field tests on self-driving cars. The race to develop autonomous driving systems is currently accelerating in the world. The first car in the world equipped with Level 3 technology, which allows operation without driver supervision under certain conditions, was launched in March here in Japan. Tokyo is conducting field tests on this as well in order to support private sector efforts. We wish for technologies to be adopted in society to enhance the quality of life of our residents. Last December, people selected by lottery were able to ride a self-driving taxi using a dedicated taxi hailing app. The testing area will be expanded this year, and using technologies such as 5G, we will advance field tests on autonomous vehicles such as taxis and buses. Dear students, one thing that we cannot forget, even as we battle the virus, is the increasingly serious climate crisis. In a session at the Leaders' Summit on Climate held by President Biden in April, I gave a message as the leader of a city at the vanguard of climate action. We had announced this January that Tokyo will, by 2030, reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 50% from year 2000 levels and increase the use of electricity generated by renewable sources to 50%. Tokyo is a megacity with 14 million people, and some 70% of our city's carbon emissions originate from buildings. Making buildings zero emission is the common challenge and the goal of the world cities. To that end, Tokyo has been operating an urban cabin trade program since 2010. We were the first city in the world to launch this pioneering initiative that makes it mandatory for office buildings and other existing buildings to cut emissions. In fiscal 2019, the covered facilities achieved reductions of as much as 27% compared to base year emissions. We are providing New York City with this expertise. Along with this program, Tokyo is making it mandatory for more than 30,000 small and medium-sized facilities to submit energy data and other such reports. These initiatives are drawing much interest from other cities, primarily from within Asia. In collaboration with the national government, Tokyo is also providing Kuala Lumpur with policy support for measures concerning buildings. With the aim to spread the use of zero-emission vehicles in Tokyo, we raised the ambitious goal of phasing out the sales of new gasoline-only passenger cars by 2030 and motorcycles by 2035. We will set up various measures such as collaborating with the national government to increase subsidies and introduce tax schemes to significantly reduce the burden of adopting ZEVs. The IPCC report that was released the other day shows the increasing urgency of the climate crisis. As you young people will be the stewards of our planet in the years to come, let us share the awareness that there is no time to lose. Under the banner of Time to Act, I'm rolling out a global movement to address the climate emergency. In order to confront the environmental challenges in this way and realize a sustainable society, the power of business must also be fully utilized. Holding the key here is finance. The Tokyo government is issuing green bonds. The funds procured in this way are used for environmental measures such as upgrading roads with water-retaining and heat-blocking pavements. A Tokyo that gathers funds from Japan and the world, centering on investment in the environment. In order to build this system, Tokyo announced the revised vision for Global Financial City Tokyo, which centers on the Tokyo Green Finance Initiative. TGFI is a strategic initiative for the growth of Tokyo's green finance. By simultaneously advancing the greening of our urban systems and the financial system through the strategic efforts of a broad range of actors, we will enhance the lives of our residents and achieve sustainable economic growth. Financial assets held by the households in Japan are enormous 1.9 quadrillion yen, or almost 18 trillion US dollars. We will work to tie these domestic funds and funds from overseas as well to the financing needs of Japan's growth sectors. With movements such as Brexit and the passing of the national security law in Hong Kong, the international financial environment has been in turmoil in recent years. We will roll out measures that accommodate these changes so that we do not miss out on any opportunities. Tokyo is not just a challenging city that gathers talent, goods, money, and information from around the world. It is also a city that is clean in terms of the environment, justice, and safety. I hope that not only you from Harvard, but many of you students who are watching this will think about starting business in Tokyo after you graduate. This March, Tokyo formulated a new strategy to forge a bright future. It raises the concept of Tokyo a global destination with the goal of becoming the world's most open city. Initiatives are now being advanced in not only finance and business, which I just mentioned, but a variety of fields including tourism and education. Tokyo is a blend of the past, now, and the future, with historical townscapes and traditional performances that have lived on for 400 years, and sophisticated technology and modern pop culture such as manga and anime. In addition to being a very safe city, Tokyo offers many attractions. It is a gourmet's delight where you can enjoy not only delicious Japanese food but cuisine from around the world. I hope all of you watching today will be able to come to Tokyo someday soon and have a wonderful time here. Thank you for your kind attention.